Gucci Gang. And I didn't bring I didn't bring any water down here with me. I have nothing to drink.
I have 2 drinks.
Man, I have quite the lineup here.
So today, Cooper and I are going to be discussing the various different supplements we take. This is kind of Cooper's side. This is kind of my side, although we do intermingle here and there.
Yeah, there is some back and forth with stuff we take.
For various reasons, supplements before we lift, supplements after we lift, joint health, heart health, just multiple. Just general health, I would say.
Gene expression, immunity, mental health. There's all different kinds of reasons to take supplements.
Yep.
And a lot of the reasons I take a lot of mine together, like, you know, I'm not going to get super into this over the course of the video, but something like the magnesium, the vitamin C, where's that one? Right here. Vitamin C and vitamin D, those all play a big role in immune health.
Yeah.
Those all play a big role in immune health. So do you want to kind of do a back and forth here?
Yeah, sure.
That way I'm not just droning on about all of my stuff for the course of this.
Yeah. Do you want me to start? I'll start.
Go
Let's
ahead.
see what I have. So I'll switch your lane. I'm going to start with creatine because it's good old-fashioned creatine. A lot of you guys know about creatine. This is the stuff you take. I mean, a lot of teenagers take it. They think, oh, I'm going to get big when I take creatine. There is some truth to that. What creatine does is one of the main, it's kind of advertised as an energy supplement, and that doesn't mean that it has caffeine in it. What that means is that it kind of increases your ATP energy. So like your fast twitch muscle, that first rep of your lift is going to be using the energy you get from creatine. So when you take that, this kind of increases it. You will gain a little bit of water weight when you take something like creatine. This is creatine monohydrate from Bulk Supplements. This is what I take. I've taken it for 6 or 7 years now. This is one of the supplements that I actually notice a physical difference when I take it. I don't know if you guys can see it, but here it is. There's not a lot of supplements that I take that I actually notice a massive difference. Creatine is one of those supplements that I do notice that difference with. So I feel a little bit stronger when I take creatine. I look a little bit more filled out because it can kind of increase the water retention within your muscles, and our muscles are 81% water. So kind of makes your muscles look a little bit bigger, which is a plus. And I know Cooper's also taken this various times.
I go back and forth with it so many times. I'm like, you know, when do I want to take it? You know, post, pre, during workout. Now I'm in the phase of taking it pre-workout just because I learned just recently that doing keto and doing intermittent fasting, it does help kind of during the longer period of, you know, when you're lifting your weights, or the shorter period. So when you're doing like either 1 to 4 reps, or you're doing like 10 or more, it helps with that medium phosphate chain, that initial explosion that you have, which you kind of lack that energy resource if you're doing intermittent fasting or doing keto. So I like to use it for that. I do want to check one thing real quick on here, just to make sure that we are actually coming through, because this might still be connected to my earbuds, and that would be not okay. It is not.
Sweet.
Okay. I just wanted to check that, because I have done that on videos I've done for myself before, where it's just like me. It's just my mouth moving, nothing, like you can't hear anything. I just sit there talking to myself. Okay, so
one more thing I want to say about creatine though is that
that's fine. Go ahead.
Yeah, you can take it pre-workout, you can take it post-workout, but one thing to keep in mind is that it's a slow digesting supplement, so it's not like having a cup of coffee where you're going to feel the effects of it within like 15 minutes to a half an hour. This usually takes about 4 to 6 hours to kind of fully digest and be in your system and kind of help you. That's not to say that you won't actually have those benefits if you take it right before your workout, but for the full peak of the benefits of creatine, you want to take it kind of, it really doesn't matter when you take it pre or post workout, because it's just in your system for a long time.
There's so much differing research on it for when and where. And if you're someone who's worried about the bloat that comes with it, or the extra water weight you're gonna have, you don't have to take, so what, like that's like 5 milligrams for a
This is
dilution,
5.
right? Yeah, so you don't have to take the full 5 milligrams to get the effect
No.
of it. I mean, and it's just, I mean, yeah, you might get a little bit more of a pump out of it. You might have a little bit more of the ATP production, but I guess it's kind of wherever you want it. Like, are you worried more about the water rate retention, the stuff you're going to retain there, or are you worried about how it's actually going to affect your performance during exercise? I mean, it's not like you're not going to get some if you take less. So
Yeah,
it's not a huge
and it's
deal.
the most studied supplement in the world. So, no danger there.
Well, I'll start on my side, I guess, with one of the newest additions to my roster here, and it's a beetroot powder. Kind of an up and coming natural supplement. If you haven't heard of it or know anything about it, most times people take it as, you can either take it with actual beets, and it's mostly made of, beets are actually usually made of glucose rather than fructose, which a lot of other fruits and some vegetables are. So if you take that post-workout, you're going to see in your glycogen stores, which is what you want to have that restore there. You don't want to have the fructose, because that's just going to turn into fat through various mechanisms within your body. So you don't want that. I don't like beetroot powder to mix it in with my drinks, because it doesn't taste bad, but it doesn't smell the greatest. It does smell like dirt, but I really just don't feel like drinking it to get the effects that I want out of it. So I take it in this form instead, just so I can pop it in. You're going to get the exact same thing. Besides, I should say, besides the initial thing of what I just said, where you have the glucose uptake rather than the fructose. Here you're getting more of the nitric oxide effect, the effect of the beet that has on upping your oxygen blood levels, of increasing the vasodilation within your bloodstream. So you're gonna get a better pump when you're exercising or moving around. You're gonna have more blood flowing. You're gonna have less oxygen uptake when you're actually exercising. So that means less energy expenditure within your body when you're actually doing your lifts. So you're gonna be able to get more reps in, maybe a little bit more weight in while you're actually doing your exercise. Something else I just learned recently when I was looking up on these is that they also this is kind of being studied right now, but it actually potentially has the ability to create more capillaries. So you have more additional areas for blood to flow into.
That's interesting.
So I thought that was really interesting. I usually take this pre-workout just because I really don't take much of anything post-workout for that kind of stuff. So I use this to help with the oxygen and just the vasodilation post or pre-workout, so that I feel like it works for me. A little bit more of a pump, more blood going through my body during the course of the workout.
You know what? This is super similar, so I'm gonna go with this one. This is L-citrulline, another big one, 2 kilograms, bulk supplements. It has a lot of the same effects that you just talked about with the beetroots. So that vasodilation that Cooper was talking about, you're gonna get this with L-citrulline as well. What that means is that, like you said, it kind of increases blood flow, so blood flows throughout your body easier. So if you're working your arms and you have L-citrulline in your system, the blood is going to come into your arms easier. So you might get a little bit more of a pump. You're going to find this in pre-workouts oftentimes because of that, but there's a ton of other benefits to this. So because of that vasodilation, it allows you to kind of put a little bit less stress on your heart when you're working out. It's good for blood pressure. Can you add anything to that? I know you take it as well.
Well, kind of the thing that we learned about this, at least this L-citrulline in particular, if you add your L-citrulline to something, you know, whatever it is, if you take it in water, if you take it in coffee like I do, or I did anyway with this one the first time we got it, because the L-citrulline we had before was just L-citrulline. There was nothing else in it. And then I added this in, which they added the malate to it, which after looking it up, it's just basically...
It's like it's kind of like a preservative. Honestly, I think that they just put it in this because it's
such a big
it's a kilogram. So over 2 pounds of supplement here, and you don't take a lot. There's 333 servings in this, so yeah, you're going to use it for over the course of at least a year, depending on if you're taking one person or two. But I think they just added that in as a preservative. It has kind of like a sour.
Yeah.
It's an acid, so it has like a sour.
It ruined my
taste.
Coffee.
Honestly, I put it in my Powerade today. I put creatine and L-citrulline in my Powerade, and it makes it taste like a sour gummy worm.
I purposely did not add it just because I had these, and I almost put it in my coffee, and I was like, wait.
It's like an orange sour gummy worm.
It's so gross.
I like it.
Sour coffee.
Most of the time, it doesn't have that in it, though.
It doesn't. Like you said, it's probably...
Plus, you can get it in tabs as well.
Yeah, it's probably because it's just a bigger bag and have to deal with more of it.
You know what we should cover? We should cover vitamin D. And
okay. Well, yeah, if we're going to go over vitamin D, that's the one I was most excited to go over, just because vitamin D it's often overlooked for its just being for bone health. And that's, while it does play a role in your bone health, it does so much more than that, and it's not even really a vitamin, it's more of a hormone. And there's two points on it specifically that I wanted to talk about, and that was, the first one was mood. Vitamin D was playing into mood.
I was going to add that in if you did.
Especially during the winter months, if you have problems with anxiety, if you have depression, SAD, seasonal affective disorder, vitamin D is great for affecting mood. There's not a whole lot of research done on why it affects our mood quite yet. But there was a study done by the Journal of Preventative Medicine. They looked at 51 women. Where's mine? Yeah. They looked at 51 women over a course of 4 months and gave them about 3,500 IUs of vitamin D. Did I already say the anxiety and depression? Did I say they have that? Okay. Yeah, because otherwise the study would have been pointless. They were just okay.
They're just cat ladies.
It's just cat ladies. So they looked at them over the course of 4 months, taking around those 3,500 IUs of vitamin D, and most of them, and by most I mean around like 48 out of the 51 women who were suffering from those mental issues, had a very strong reduction in those feelings of anxiety and depression, and some of them even said that it was gone.
Yeah.
And it wasn't over like the course of like any particular season. That was just over the course of 4 months. It didn't specify like during the winter, during the spring, during the summer, whatever. It was just over the course of a 4-month period.
Vitamin D is kind of like that all-around supplement for me, because I know I started taking it like senior year, and the reason I started taking it was because I heard about the effects of like the mood in it, kind of like it helps with your mood. But like delving in a little deeper to vitamin D, it's like I said, that all-around supplement. So you can take it if you're an athlete. You should be taking vitamin D. If you are suffering from anxiety and depression, vitamin D. Bone health.
If you want to lose weight, if you want your immune system to get better.
I mean, vitamin D is something that you should take no matter what, kind of. Even if you're a healthy human being and you don't even lift weight, vitamin D is a good supplement to take.
Yeah. It's a big factor in inflammation. And I said gene expression at the beginning of this video. I was really giving the shout out to vitamin D because it affects tumor necrosis factor alpha, P1, interleukin 1, interleukin 6, and basically those are inflammation modulators within your body. You know, if you work out, inflammation is it's a good thing. It's a thing you want to have in sparse amounts, but you still want to have it. And when those things get out of control, that's when you have issues. That's when you have your chronic illnesses, your diseases, your heart problems, rises in cortisol and stress, just inflammation, havoc around your body. And vitamin D helps counteract those things by binding to specific receptors
Mm-hmm.
within your genes that allow the expression of the various leukocytes, actually the DNA in your leukocytes in your immune system that help make the proper immune cells that you want. And on that same note, it also increases the length, or not increases, but rather protects your existing telomeres within your immune system. So you have all of these great things that vitamin D does when it's just touted as, take vitamin D for your bone health.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also like the only thing people like say get it from cheese. Well, I don't really recommend getting it from cheese because we would need to eat a hell of a lot of cheese in order to get enough vitamin D. There is a specific mathematic formula that you can use to get like how much vitamin D you really need.
That's interesting.
But kind of
what concentration do you take?
I think it's 35. I think it's 3,500.
20.
Oh no, it's 2,200.
Mine's 10,000. Mine is 10,000.
Yeah, you take a lot more of it than I do.
You too. It's 1,250%.
What is
daily amount of vitamin?
What is your vitamin D coming from? It's from the same thing.
Yep.
But yours has other more ingredients in it though.
I love my vitamin D.
The only thing I wish they would take out of your thing is the corn syrup solids. Because that's like I could even deal with the maltodextrin, but the corn syrup solid just is like unnecessary sugar.
It's such a tiny capsule though. It's like nothing.
It just doesn't make any sense to me. So it's like the difference. But granted, again, yours has way more than mine does. But mine, just has like your typical like rice hull things added to it to keep its shape and form. But that's vitamin D. I would honestly say probably out of any of these other ones, vitamin D is kind of king here.
Yeah. Fish oil? Fish krill oil?
Yeah, did I bring that?
We both.
Okay, I did.
Yeah.
Yep, I did.
Yeah, so two different supplements here, but basically the same thing. You got your omega-3s. I have krill oil here, and Cooper's got the wild Alaskan fish oil. So, ton of benefits to fish oil. Fish oil is commonly advertised as like a joint health supplement. At least that's what I see it as. It helps with heart health as well. I take it before I lift usually, but you can take it after. Some people take it before they sleep because they think that it helps calm them down.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Helps like with a kind of like a relaxing effect.
Yeah. If you take
it, the oils.
If you take it after you work out, if you take fish oil after you work out, it actually helps improve a little bit of the muscle repair that you have, just because it helps reduce the inflammation a little bit. Helps it speed it along.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big fan of omega-3s, supplement, non-supplement from food, whatever you're getting them from, just because without omega-3s, your body is going to be going through inflammation overload.
Yeah.
And with the amount of omega-6s that we consume on a day-to-day basis, just as regular people, regular Americans, and I feel like I have to touch on this. If you can take all the omega-3, all the krill oil, whatever fish oil supplements you want to. If your omega-6 profile within your body is higher than your omega-3, your body's going to use the omega-6. It's what happens. It's like carbohydrates or fats within your body. Your body's going to preferentially use what's more there. So if you have more omega-6s, more of the inflammation fat, it's going to use more of it, and it wreaks havoc across your body.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Oh.
You want to go with one of your weird ones?
One of my weird ones.
What is this?
This is a few different things. So I take magnesium regularly. This also has magnesium in it. Magnesium, zinc, vitamin B6, and I'm just gonna kind of showcase all these together so I can kind of get like an all-in-one right here. So these ones, the vitamin B6, the L-theanine. Just kind of get the L-theanine out of there. The magnesium and the zinc, and then vitamin D is also included in this. Vitamin C, and I think that was all of them. Yeah. So these all three together, without going into too great a depth, they all play a very big role in your immune system. Vitamin C needs magnesium. Magnesium needs vitamin C. There was three: magnesium, vitamin C, and zinc. It needs all of those. It needs everything in there in order to support your immune system. They all work in with each other. Shout out to magnesium, responsible for over 300 different biochemical processes within your body. Very, very important. Just like potassium, which I'll touch on later, most people are usually deficient in it. And unlike with potassium, I think you'll definitely notice a lot more whether you're deficient in magnesium or not. That's what's going to affect your post-workout lactic acid buildup, whether you're getting cramps, brain fog, proper muscle repair.
It's just involved with everything.
Yeah, there's so many different things it's involved for. And he has L-theanine over here. That's in here too. I'll let you hit on that.
Yeah, I can cover L-theanine. So L-theanine is, we take it, or at least I take it more as like a sort of a pre-workout supplement. So L-theanine it's what's found in, I believe, green tea. Is it green tea? I think it's green tea, and it has a relaxing effect, and also a focus effect. So it's sort of, when you take caffeine, you feel that jittery energy where you're super ready to do something, and you might kind of have that, your mind's going a mile a minute and you're going crazy, you feel pumped up. L-theanine kind of controls that spike in energy, I would say. At least that's how I feel it works.
It was about a year ago I introduced you to that.
It's 8 or 9 months ago. Yeah, I really liked it. Liked it a lot. I felt more focused, more controlled. You don't taste it. You take a tiny little amount. I put it in my coffee. A lot of pre-workouts have this in it now. They didn't used to, but now they do, and I really like it. So.
Yeah. If you're someone who drinks coffee a lot, especially if you have multiple cups of it a day, unless you're someone who's really addicted to caffeine and really used to it, you're going to hit that jittery point of just being out of control, insane with your caffeine. If you're someone who drinks tea a lot, this is the reason you don't have those same effects with it, because it has that L-theanine in it that helps you calm, focus, but you're still energized.
Yeah, if you take 100 milligrams of caffeine via green tea versus via black coffee, you're going to notice a big difference in how you feel. The green tea is going to be a much more controlled energy, almost like a relaxed energy. Mm-hmm. I like it. I like that feeling. Some people don't. Some people really want that like crazy jittery feeling. I don't like that. I don't like that with my coffee. Yeah. I like to kind of be like a relaxed.
It's like if Coke and Adderall had a baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you're not.
Don't recommend.
Yeah, don't take Coke or Adderall in this.
Next up.
It's my favorite supplement. It's cocaine.
Last but not least. Methamphetamine.
Really, the last one I have to hit on, besides going into the various types of magnesium, and there's like, there's like 12 different kinds of magnesium. Yeah. There's the taurate that I have, which is great for mind and mental health, anxiety, focus there. Glycinate. what's the magnesium that's in my Calm?
Oh, no help.
No help.
No help.
Turmeric, glycinate. It's also a G1. It's also a G1. It's getting to me. Oh, there's a comment here. Do I recommend water or Gatorade during a workout?
I would recommend water.
Yeah,
I mean, water. You can't go wrong with water. You probably wouldn't like Gatorade at all.
No.
Any form of Gatorade. Like if you're gonna go with something like a Gatorade, which I have Powerade here, and it's the sugary kind of Powerade, and I just take it because I'm not on keto. I'm not on any specific diet. I'm actually a thrower.
Yeah, so you gotta understand with him, at least, you know, Gatorade, Powerade, like the sugary forms of it, they're touted as being a great like recovery drink.
It's
for athletes.
It's certainly
That's who
not
they're for
recovery. It's I would say it's definitely more for like hydration and performance while you're competing.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna go with like a Gatorade, I would highly recommend either going with something like go with like a Pedialyte or make your own Gatorade. What I used to do is I used to make something called Meathead lemonade, and I would take a lemon. I would cut it in half. I'd squeeze both into a big glass of ice water, and then I would add some salt, and if I wanted to add like a few drops of like zinc or magnesium to it, that's what I would do. Shake it up, and you got yourself basically like a lemonade, but it's kind of salty. Sounds kind of gross, but it's not bad. It's actually not bad.
Yeah, if
super good for hydration. I used to have that when, I think this was the summer after my freshman year, and I would work out, I would throw, and I would go on a bike ride, and that was like my daily thing. And you sweat. This was the summer, so you would sweat like crazy, and I would just drink that. I'd feel really, really good.
Yeah,
Stay super hydrated.
Unless you're doing extreme exercise, there's not really a reason to take it. The reason I don't, at least especially during a workout, if you're gonna drink this, I would say drink it pre, because then you're at least gonna work off most of the sugar that you did take. But if you're trying to burn fat, do not drink a sugary beverage during your workout. You're going to defeat every purpose that you're trying to do for your exercise, because you're giving your body an extra fuel source to run off of over the course of your exercise. So if you're trying to burn fat, which is a different mechanism, it's a different form of energy in your body, and then you're suddenly introducing glucose, fructose, whatever during your workout, your body is going to use that up first before it starts going to your fat stores. So if you're trying to lose weight, don't drink that.
So for me, this has just always been a vessel. Like I'll never have, and not that I'm against it, I certainly am not against it, but I'll never be drinking like a Powerade or a Gatorade without supplement in it, because this for me is just a vessel for the supplement. So what I have in here right now is I have my creatine, and I have L-citrulline, and those are the two things that I put in my Powerade. This is sort of like almost like it's just a pre-workout, like a pre-workout drink. Not pre-workout in the sense that like you're getting a bunch of caffeine and you're about to work out, get a big pump. But this is just what I drink before I work out. That's just about it. I mean, I never have Powerade or Gatorade unless I put something in it. Yeah. It's like caffeine for me. I know you're different, but like coffee for me, I never just wake up and have a cup of coffee. Coffee and caffeine in general is, if I have it, is before I work out, and that's it. Like I never am like, oh, I just feel like having a cup of coffee and I drink it.
Yeah.
It's never the case for me.
I do it partially because I'm addicted to caffeine. I full out, caffeine crackhead here. I can't help myself. But it's not like it still doesn't serve its purpose passively. Even if I'm not exercising, you're still having the effect of it turning on various receptors within your body that allow fat burning to occur. So, if I'm doing that, and that's the only reason I'm doing it for, is I'm having this coffee because I want coffee and I'm not drinking it prior to workout, or I'm working at Blue Man and I'm moving around all day. Then I usually just limit it to that one cup.
I usually have a couple cups before I work out, and that's about it. That's all the coffee. That's all the caffeine that I have, pretty much. So, Everything's good in moderation.
Some things.
Yeah.
Some things. Oh. This is the one. This is the only one I have left. Is Dinyl methane. If you're a guy, I highly recommend taking this. Again, regardless if you work out or not. DIM is the precursor to testosterone in our bodies. It's naturally found in mostly cruciferous vegetables, things like broccoli, cauliflower, especially cauliflower, broccoli. So it's again kind of one of those things that just things that have in moderation. You don't want to have too high testosterone. You don't want to have too lower testosterone. But it's kind of like along the same lines with the potassium or magnesium. Usually we're intaking so many things that have an estrogenic effect or a phytoestrogen effect on a day-to-day basis, that it's good to supplement with something that's going to help combat that, to help up your testosterone a little bit, just to give your body a little hand. Because you don't want an influx of estrogen all the time as a guy, and that's how it makes it harder to build muscle. It creates fat where you don't want it, and it gives you man boobs. I used to have man boobs. I wouldn't want to have those again. Not calling out anybody who does, but if you don't want to have them, part of that might be just because you have low testosterone.
Could be.
Too high amounts of estrogen.
Mm. Yeah. So last but not least for us, beta-alanine. We covered this once before in our pre-workout supplement video, but beta-alanine, another one of those focus supplements, helps give you that focus in the gym. Also gives you that tingly feeling in your veins and skin. Beta-alanine's an interesting one. It's a love-hate for me. Cooper loves it. He loves that tingly feeling that he gets before
here's
workout.
the thing though, because I got this. I don't know. It's almost been a year now since I got this thing, and you told me that you weren't really going to use it that much. And I come over here, and there's less and less.
Yeah, but a year though. Like, how many servings is in this? See, there's 100 servings in this, and it's been a year, and there's been 2 people taking it, mostly me, but 2 people taking it, and there's still some left. And so I take maybe a third, maybe half a scoop, half a serving of that, because I really don't like the itchy feeling if you've taken pre-workout and you've itched your head or itched your body and you just feel all crazy.
This is probably the best representation of what it feels like to take Coke legally. Just because it does give you that feeling, you just feel itchy. You need to move.
Zoned in and itchy is the feeling that I get when I take beta-alanine. It's interesting. It's an interesting one. So I kind of love-hate. I don't take this every day because, especially if I'm doing they say that this helps with if you're going for one more rep, if you're going for that extra rep or even your first rep, you're gonna have a little bit more energy if you take beta-alanine to do that. I don't personally notice that when I take beta-alanine. I don't know about you.
No, I like it because it helps me get started working out. Because if I don't move with this and I drink this stuff, it makes my skin.
I will say that if I take this and I'm watching YouTube videos before I work out or something, and I start feeling the effects of this, I'm like, all right, I gotta quit because I'm just sitting here, my legs, my head are starting to itch. It's look like a madman sitting there watching YouTube, but. Yeah, I take a third a scoop of this. I don't take it if I'm going for a big strength lift because I don't like that feeling. If I'm going into a big lift or if I'm let's say I'm throwing, let's say I'm in a meet, I'm not going to be taking beta-alanine because it's not really going to help me perform and it's kind of just going to distract me. So this is more for a hypertrophy muscle building workout.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Yeah,
definitely.
It's not for. Oh, I'm going for a max squat. I'm going to take a full scoop of beta-alanine. That's not what it's for. I think that covers it.
I could just see you just taking the beta-alanine, going for a big squat, and just almost coming up and just throwing the weight off because you just want to itch yourself.
It might help.
Because I feel it's almost like a you have it, it fills your body up, and then just as you work out, it drains more and more. Like the more reps you do.
I kind of agree. I agree with that.
Like it has to be followed with reps. If you're just going for like, you know, one or
That's
two
a good
reps
way of
for
putting
strength.
it. That's a good way of putting it. It's a big high rep workout, and that by the end you won't feel all itchy and gross.
Yeah. It's like that's what I did today. Like
Yeah.
the first portion of my workout I did.
Take a full scoop?
Yeah. Yeah.
I've taken a full scoop like once.
Did 5 sets of bench, 10 reps,
Really?
squats, and then push-ups.
I did that the other day. I didn't
So-
squat, but I'm gonna squat today.
Oh, I thought you worked out already today.
No,
What was that? I thought. Oh, did you just post a video from yesterday or something?
Oh, you mean on TikTok?
Yeah.
Yeah, I posted a video from 2 days ago.
Okay.
Yeah, I forgot I did that. I'm squatting again today though. I did bench and back yesterday, squats 2 days ago, and then I'm squatting again today.
I
So
thought
I'm doing a high bar today.
I did my my squatness thing,
Yeah.
my squats, and I did over there, and I did 50 squats in less than 60 seconds. I thought it was gonna be so hard,
That's crazy.
but it only took me 49 seconds to do.
Well, that's pretty impressive. So, squat a second, literally.
Pretty much, yeah. It's like that's what I figured. It was like it'd be squat a second with a little bit of a buffer, and I thought it would be like 55, 54 seconds to spare, and it wasn't even that hard.
Huh, that's impressive.
So, yeah. Thanks everybody for watching. Before we head out, if there's any questions anyone has about any of the supplements here, or something you want us to go more in depth to at any point, it doesn't necessarily have to be on. Doesn't necessarily have to be for this video. If you guys want us to go more in depth on a different video about something, or one of us in particular.
So if you could pick your top 3 like supplements that just everyone should take, what supplements would you give to them? I know my top pick would be vitamin D. For me.
I would probably have to say that's definitely going to be vitamin D, definitely for top spot.
I don't take quite as many supplements as Austin, but I almost want to say I almost want to say like coffee, like caffeine.
Oh yeah, there were some that I kind of considered, but I didn't bring with me. Like I thought about bringing the apple cider vinegar. I didn't bring like my cinnamon and chromium,
yeah.
or my
I have that upstairs.
My glutenese tablets, because those are situational. I don't.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, I mean I do take the apple cider vinegar every single day, but I don't take the cinnamon chromium every single day, not anymore. And I don't take the gluten one every day because I try not to eat gluten every single day.
Yeah.
No, there was one. This really isn't anything special. The Digest Basic. I literally just take this to give my stomach a break.
Huh.
It doesn't make our digestive system already works hard enough to help us get the nutrients and stuff we need out of our food. So I buy these tablets every now and again to just kind of get the most I can out of the food I eat. But I definitely want to put that up top.
I think honestly this is a wild card. I didn't expect myself to put this in the top 3, but I'm gonna go with like a fish oil supplement because of, again, it's just like it covers a lot of ground. It's not a specific. It's not like a beta alanine where it's like for one thing, or an L-theanine which is like for one thing. It covers a ton of ground. So I'm also gonna put that in the top 3.
I'll probably put potassium next, just because that, along with salt, is responsible for a lot of the action potential that goes on within your body. Because if you're trying to like flex a muscle or move something, your body needs salt and potassium in a good balance in order to do those things. And if you're someone who bloats a lot because you eat a lot of salt, start taking some potassium. Start taking some potassium, because it will help with that.
Yeah. I was going to say creatine, but I'm not going to say creatine. I'm going to go with my L-citrulline, because creatine is kind of one of those, like we said, like a situational thing. Like if you work out, you should take creatine, but if you don't work out, you're not going to see that many. I mean, there's really not a reason to take creatine if you're not working out. So L-citrulline, but there is a reason to take it if you're not working out with L-citrulline, because it helps with heart health and it helps with blood flow. So you're going to see a lot of benefits with that. Like, if I know heart disease runs in my family, so taking something like L-citrulline kind of eases my mind, because it does help with heart health.
Oh, dude.
So
start superdosing some vitamin C, or to start taking some, because collagen actually makes up our arterial walls. So, you know, if you're worried about heart problems and stuff like that,
take collagen as well.
You need vitamin C with it. You need to start taking some vitamin C with it, because that's going to help it actually build and actually your body use it. It needs the vitamin C to actually help build it and use it. There's a whole other complexity that goes together with your body putting together collagen. It's insane with how important collagen is.
You going with magnesium for your last one?
I don't know. It's if you wanted to superdose vitamin C, and it's because vitamin C is really important to us human beings and also guinea pigs, because we're one of the very few mammals that actually can't produce our own vitamin C. Like goats can produce 10,000 IUs of vitamin C by themselves, and they never get sick. They have one of the lowest heart attack risks and stroke risk of any animal, because they produce their own vitamin C. And there was actually a point along our evolutionary line where we did, and then we stopped. And that was also around the same time that our risk for heart attack kind of increased. But you can still get vitamin C from natural sources easier than, I would say, than magnesium. And just with how important magnesium is in, I would say, significantly more processes than vitamin C is, I am going to have to go with magnesium.
Oh, so nice.
Not Kobe. As my third choice.
What, magnesium? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured you'd go with magnesium. Yeah, I just wanted to do a top 3 type thing, because, I mean, a lot of people don't want to take 14 supplements. I mean, taking that many pills just...
Besides this one and this one, this is literally what I do. It's 2 of these, 1 of these, 1 of these, 3 of these, and they're pretty big. 1 of these, 1 of these, 1 of these, and I literally pop. Most people can't do this. I don't know why I can't. Pop all these all in my mouth at the same time and swallow them. Swallow them. I can.
Maybe 2, maybe 3.
And look at the size of these ones. These are the biggest one out of all of them. 3 of these. Isn't that just insane? Look at the size of these.
Yeah, that's at least. That's got to be 12 pills.
Yeah, take
2 of these.
It's the serving size is 2 for women.
And 1 vitamin D. That's my pills for the day. And then I take collagen powder and sometimes an iron pill. That's the most.
Oh yeah, and vitamin C. There you go. Something else. Vitamin C with iron. Your body needs that to bind to it. Otherwise, just like if you were to set a metal weight out in the rain, it oxidizes in your body. Well, I don't think anybody asked any questions, at least not that I saw. So.
Got a question about Gatorade. Good question.
Yeah. Does anybody else have any questions? I love answering questions. It's probably one of my most favorite things to do, especially when it comes down to fitness, nutrition, health, and stuff like that. So I guess we'll give it another 2 or 3 minutes here. If anybody has any questions about any of the supplements or dosages, effects, whatever the case may be, about any of the stuff we mentioned. In case you just came in the video and you haven't heard anything else we've been talking about, you got vitamin D, beetroot powder, L-theanine, beta-alanine, L-citrulline, magnesium, creatine, fish oil, krill oil, any of those things you guys have questions about. Be more than happy to answer anything you guys have. or anything that we didn't necessarily talk about. It's a completely off the ball question. Seeing everything all laid out is pretty insane that I take all of these.
I know. I like when you had all that in your bag, I was like, phew, that's a full meal of pills.
And I try to disperse.
It's a good thing you take the digest stuff.
Yeah. Well, I do try to disperse these out throughout the night.
Yeah.
So like I'll start out with like maybe 2 or 3 of the bottles, and then take the other ones later.
Yeah. That's your breakfast right there. 14 pills.
And you,
my grandma.
You don't have to go crazy like this. I just do it just to be safe. If you know the foods that you're eating are high enough in whatever it is you're trying to get, that's really the best way. It's the most bioavailable way for your body to get those types of things.
Or if you live in an area which none of you do, but if you live in an area where you get like maybe you live in Florida and you don't need to be taking vitamin D or something like that.
Yeah, if you're going out getting plenty of sun, I mean, still, maybe a little dosage.
Tiny, but you don't need.
Yeah.
You don't need what is it?
10,000 IUs of vitamin D.
It's perfect. Big boy.
Big boy, the biggest boy. Oh my gosh.
About to go have my coffee. Let's do some squats.
I'm gonna go shop downtown Ashland a little bit. I'm gonna go to Fig and Oak.
Fig and Oak. Where's that at?
It is like the first store that comes up on your left side if you're coming to the left from the 4-way light. Not the one that's out by the gas station. The one that's up by the bank.
Talking about like Main Street, 4-way. What is that place?
It's like a local. It's like a kind of like a local shop for stuff, and then like more like eco-conscious and socially conscious things. Like, so one of.
I see.
Oh yeah, I forgot. If we don't work out regularly, do you recommend taking supplements daily?
Some supplements, I would say. Maybe vitamin D. It's a good question though.
Yeah, there's really working out and supplements. They're not mutually exclusive. Like if you work out, you don't need to take supplements. If you don't work out, you don't necessarily need to take supplements. It all comes down to what you think your body needs.
Yeah. Most people feel healthy without them, but if you want to take like a vitamin D, or if you want to take like caffeine before you work out or something like that, a lot of people find that helps.
Yeah,
so,
there's
stuff like that.
Do I need to be taking all of these? No, I don't need to be taking all of them. I do it because I think it'll help me in the long run. Because I care a lot about how my body functions. I care about my longevity, my health. And I want to be around for as long as I can with a functioning, well-operating body. And sometimes eating the right foods and exercising are enough. And supplementation does help. But it's not the end-all, be-all. All those things work together.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
But yeah, like I was saying when I saw her post, I did want to give a shout out to Lexi and David for their engagement that they had the other day.
Made me blush, good.
So yeah, definitely congratulations to them. That leaves just me and 2 of my other friends, who are, I don't know what you call that. You call that boat.
What? Like, are you talking about Corey working?
Yeah.
Like what would you call your friend group? Is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah, just like 2. So you and
Corey,
Bren.
I think Corey's next. Not to put any pressure on Corey, but I think Corey's probably next. Coop, you might be a close second to Corey. workman, he might beat you. You never know.
Yeah, he could just.
He could surprise us all. He could
Yeah.
just-
Well, you know what? So he's. I hope he doesn't think I'm talking crap about him. He's worked, and it's an interesting hobby. He's working on growing mushrooms right now.
Really?
Yeah, he's got like this little
It's a
jar.
boy fruit.
Yeah. Yeah, really cool dried fruit. He's cultivating them in a jar with rice. And he says actually going pretty well. He posted on.
My friend from college, Ryan Ryder, used to do that.
Yeah.
Or Jared Ryder. I had another friend, Ryan Ryder. Jared Ryder, he used to grow mushrooms in his dorm room. Interesting guy.
He said I'm never getting laid.
Oh,
Because he just posted that on there. So yeah. Any other questions before we head out here? I just wanted to again congratulate Lexi and David on their engagement. But I think my phone, because kind of on its last battery leg life here, and I want to get down to those shops before they close out for the day. So give it another minute here, see if anybody else wants to ask any questions.
need coffee.
I think I'm just going to call it so that we can be on our way. So, all right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. For those that did, this was actually probably one of our most watched live
sure
videos.
was, yeah.
So thank you. And if anybody has any questions about anything else after the video is over and you watch this, feel free to ask. We'll try to come back with more topics and stuff like this. Because we do make stuff that's just working out a lot.
All right. Cool.
Anything to add?
No. Thanks for watching.
All right.